Hey, I'm Ryan, and I'm going to give you some guidelines on how to make a $2,000 plus logo for yourself or for your clients using logomaker.com. Here's some sample designs I'm creating for clients right now, and they're being charged over $2,000 for these, and they already like some of them. The great thing about this is I'm making it on a free platform. So this is a Logo Maker tool. And I'm going to go over in this video the 5 things designers like myself do to make professional designs and to make logos that are worth $2,000 to $10,000 or even more, and why logos cost that much and what designers do and how you could really do it yourself and do it on a free platform. Logo Maker is probably the best tool to do it on because it gives you so much diversity and it gives it to you in these nice quality formats as well. So let's go over it. This is the checklist I just made right now. The first thing you want to do is you want to make a unique original logo. That's the first thing. If you make something that looks like somebody else's, it, number one, doesn't stand out. It doesn't blend in with your company's character, and that's just not a good logo. So a good logo blends in with your character. It looks like your company and it represents your company and it invokes an emotion. So that's part of what I mean by being unique, original. It invokes that same emotion. So if you're an attorney, maybe you want to be more serious. If you're maybe a candy shop, you want to be more colorful and poppy and stuff like that. So it really invokes that character, and that's part of being original. The second thing is the fonts. You want to make sure you match the fonts with your icons. So for example, you'll see like this T kind of has the same structure as icons, same pointiness and whatnot. The roundness here, maybe it kind of has this right here. See the icon? It looks like that. Or this wiry feel, it looks like this. So you want to match this. See, the bottle is like a thick bottle, and then I got like kind of a thicker font in a way. So it kind of matches. And then very important, symmetry. So if you're kind of off, and I may be off on some of these, I got to relook at these, then it looks weird. So if this is down or this is, a little off, sometimes it's good, but you got to use your eye and really do it. So I'm going to show you how to do that on this free platform. And you also want to be iconic. You want this to stand out. So if you put it on something, people will go, oh, that is Malibu Wines, or that is Inner Balance, or whatever it is you're doing. Sarah House. I see that. It looks iconic. It's not like somebody else did it and stuff. And easily visible, meaning if you put it on a little small pen, can you still see it if you put it on a big billboard or somebody sees it from far away? Or is it too complicated and people won't understand it and see it? People have a really short attention span. So that's something that I'm going to get into as well here. So how did I do these things? And all of these things are layers and stuff. So I kind of feel inspiration about the company. So this one was kind of light, fluffy. They sell clothes, and it's like organic and so on and so forth. So I wanted organic kind of colors, and I also wanted it to represent like a kind of a bunny. So I just typed in like maybe rabbit, and I threw in a rabbit. So I looked on here and I was like, oh, okay, that's a good rabbit. There's a lot of stuff that you could search on here, and I dropped that in there. So you could click on this rabbit here, or click on any of these things here, and it'll drop it in. Sorry, this is not dropping in. It's on. I put it on this right here. Okay, so by the way, here's your layers here, and you could open up the layer and close it right there. So here's the rabbit, right? And I want to flip it so it points the other way. So let's do that first. There you go. So that's what I did first. And then let me make this smaller. I could hold and do that. So the way you do it, you grab everything and then you could take the edges and make it smaller or bigger. Okay, so now I have this rabbit. And then I kind of picked a color. So I wanted this color, so I'm going to grab the same color right here, and I'm going to match it with this color. Oops. Let's go back. There you go. And if you want to go back, if you made a mistake, you could just click the undo button. Really cool. So click on this, click on that, and I wanted it a little bit opaque or transparent. There you go. Now I want a couple other rabbits kind of behind it. So I'm going to right click and duplicate this. There you go, right there. And I'm going to change, I'm going to keep the tone here, but I'm just going to change the color. So it's almost the same tone, but different color. And I want this one in back of it. So I'm going to grab this, see the layers here, and I'm going to put it in back of it. So now you have this one on top of it, and this one in back of it. Let me make this bigger for you. All right, so now I'm going to kind of hover over it. Once you know how to kind of do that, you could even add 3 or 4 or whatever you want to add to this. Then you can start playing around with it and playing with the opacity and whatnot. This is opacity here, and playing with the colors. So let's say I wanted that color, you know. You could do whatever you want. And then you want to find the font. So I just grab this font, and you could go in here and you could choose from various fonts, so different fonts here. So as you can see, I chose this one that's called Lifesavers, and I just typed in, you know, True Cotton, sorry. And that's it. And then I created this R by itself. So it's about again, being original and unique is part of this whole thing. I'm trying to not look like everybody else. And then I added these little streams to look like it's going, and I kind of matched the font. So these things, I just typed in dots, D-O-T-S, dots. And I looked for some dots. I'm like, oh, there's some wavy dots there. So I used that. I picked the color that looks like it, and I took the opacity down, and then I just moved it around, and I put it on top of this. So a lot of what you're going to do is kind of use a layering, but make it sure it's subtle, you know, and whatnot. And by the way, if you're asking about the R, that was really easy to make. I just made an R. Oops. Let me horizontal flip that. I just took this right here. This is a shape, and I just made, and I grabbed that shape. I made it smaller. I took an R by the text, and I just put it in there, and then I just grabbed the whole thing by clicking and dragging, and then I drag this smaller or bigger. That's it. And then you can move it around as you wish. Put it right there, and you can make it smaller. There you go. So that's basically how I did that. And you could do it with the same thing with this. For example, this right here, what was that? It was that was a watercolor, I believe. Like you're doing watercolor right there. So I just grabbed that watercolor, and then I grabbed a wine glass, and there you go. And I like this wine glass because it kind of looks like a drawing. And then I found the right colors, and maybe I could change the colors a bit more or whatnot. And then I found this nice font that kind of matches this. And then I did the same thing here as well. And what's great about Logo Maker is, let's say you just don't want it here. You want to grab all this, and you say, oh, I want it on the side. You could take that. I added some space in between, and you could make that smaller by moving it like that. So you could do that as well. So it's really up to you. I'm pressing Command Z. I'm going back, or you could click this undo, 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 and I'm going to grab everything and move it. And same thing with this. I just grabbed a bottle of water, and then I put waves under it. So let me show you how I did that. It's really cool. So I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to go ahead and put wine bottle. There you go. And I look for a wine bottle that's just basic, like that. And there it is right there. And all right, I'm going to resize that. Make sure that's even. And then I look for waves. And then I wanted like really nice thick waves and whatnot, but you could use anything you want. You could even use these waves here and make sure that layer's on top of it. And I put it there, and then I made this white just like that. And then I duplicated the waves. Now this is a little different waves, but you could do this as well. So I went to duplicate, and I duplicated the waves just like that. Maybe something like that. Kind of match it up. And let's say I don't want this to be so big. So I'm going to grab this, change the color, grab it. I'm going to put it right here. I don't want it that big. I just want to kind of put it right there, just like that. All right. So now I'm going to make it white, and I'm going to move this bottle down. I don't think that's white. There you go. I want it all the way white. And click on this. It's not white. Move that. Okay, there you go. Now I'm going to move that bottle over. And there you go. Something like that. And then I just grabbed the text, and I found this text that I liked, and I made it black underneath. So something like that. I actually like the original waves that I did better, but you get the idea. That's pretty much what I did there. This one's actually really cool. It looks simple. It looks kind of almost generic, but it's not. Couple things. I grabbed an arc. This is all comes from one arc that I found. So this is really great, and it's really simple, and it all comes from an arc. So this is just an arc that I repeated on here. So check this out. If I type in ARCH, you'll see I found an arc just like that right there. And the way I did this, watch this, this is cool, is I duplicated this arc like that. And then I flipped it vertically like that. And I put it together just like that. Then I grabbed this whole thing here and I duplicated this just like that. And I moved it. See, these two are highlighted, so I can move them just like that. Then I'm going to move it around just like this. And I'm going to move it back into this thing here. And that looks like that. And I kind of messed this one up, but you get the idea. So what if, let's go back here. What if I wanted to put this in like this color and this one in almost the same color, but I wanted one lighter than the other. So I could do this, and then I could take this and put it over it. So now it gives it some depth, you know, and I could even put a background behind it. So I could put like this circle behind it, and I can make all this white if I wanted to. So let's say I wanted to make the circle this color, or even purple, more darker purple. I could highlight this, make this all white, and then see the circle? I'm going to put this below. I'm going to grab it and put it down, just like that. So now it's behind this. So let's make the circle a little bit bigger. And let's grab this and put it like that. There you go. And you want to center this. And I could highlight again all of this right here and grab a corner and go like that. There you go. So that's literally what I did. And what's cool about this is now it looks more original. And then I grabbed the text and I put it in there. And you're probably asking yourself, how did you get this bottom part? Well, that's kind of cool, actually. I just grabbed one of the squares. I made it white and I stretched it out like this. This is really cool. And I put it over it, but then I took the opacity and I brought it way down. So then you get this like subtle thing on it that gives it a little bit more depth as well. So that's how I did that. This is bugging me. There you go. There you go. So overall, that's it. And did the same thing with this. This is just a layer. I looked for like a silhouette, and I looked for a spade. And this is like 2 spades. So I just duplicated this spade, and I made the one in the back bigger, and that's it. And I found text that kind of represented the same arches, the same kind of feeling of the Serra house that we're doing here for the client. Same with this one. It has a bunch of layers. It has the circle layer, 2 circle layers, one bigger, one smaller, and then I added a lobster. And as you can see, I added this block in back of the in front of the lobster, but in back of the text. See this block here? And I just put it right there. And then I grabbed and I found font that looked like it kind of matched all this right here. And then I made this one a little lighter. And this is a different font, by the way, but it looked good. So this font and this font are kind of different, but it looked like it kind of matched, and it looked really, really nice when I did it. So all these, I feel like, are unique. The fonts match. They're symmetrical. It's iconic, and it's easily visible. So if you put this font on a pen, it would be easily visible, you know. So so that's it. I'm gonna do some more logos. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna send these over to our clients, let them choose what they like the best, and we'll take it from there.